Hi guys, welcome to my channel Venusianscorp, where I talk about all things astrology and tarot related. Today's video is going to be on the sun in the first house. So this is part of a new series where I talk about the sun sign in each of the 12 houses in the zodiac. So it doesn't matter what zodiac sign your sun is in. So it doesn't matter if you're a sun in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, or whichever zodiac sign. This is about which house your sun sign is in. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. Just a little bit before I get started, and what I do, I basically provide holistic healing services which are uniquely tailored and customized to your birth chart, your individual birth chart. So I look at the energies in your chart and I use a combination of yoga, tarot, alternative medicine, nutrition, and healing therapies like crystal therapy to give you a very customized recommendation plan that is uniquely suited to your individual birth chart. Apart from this, I also do relationship analysis or relationship compatibility. So, if you are in a relationship and you want to know what it's going to be like, you can contact for a synastry chart reading or a relationship compatibility. And I also do tarot card readings. If you want to contact for a personal consult, just drop me a message on my Facebook or email. Both the links are in the description box, so you can contact me anytime. So let's get started. So today I'm talking about sun in the first house. So like I said, it doesn't matter what zodiac sign your sun is in. You could be a sun in Gemini, you could be a sun in Cancer, or any zodiac sign. This is about which house your sun sign falls in. So this is about sun in the first house. So the first house, each of the houses in the zodiac wheel represents a certain area of life. So wherever the sun falls in, it's going to shine a light on those areas of life. So those areas of life are going to be extremely important to your sense of self, your sense of ego and identity, because the sun is represented by the ego, the sense of self. So when you've got your sun in the first house is the house of self-expression. This is also where you have your ascendant sign or your rising sign. So this is usually what people perceive you as when they meet you for the first time. This is not like your midheaven, which is how society perceives you based on whatever you've achieved in this life. So the midheaven is your public recognition based on your ambition, drives, and what you've achieved in this life, maybe your career or business or whatever. That's your public image, that's your midheaven. But here I'm talking about the first house, which is basically the first impression that people get when they meet you for the first time. So when you've got the sun in the first house, it's basically lighting up this area of your life. Now the sun brings radiance, the sun brings vitality. The sun also represents your ego, the way you relate to yourself, your sense of self, identity. So all that is happening in the first house of self-expression. So you may find that the way you express yourself is very much in line with your core, which is very much in line with your ego, who you are as a person. I'll give an example, like somebody who has a different rising sign from, say, their sun sign is going to be very different energies. So for example, if somebody has a Gemini rising and let's say they have a Taurus sun, just as an example. So when they meet people for the first time, they are going to appear very communicative, because Gemini is very communicative. They'll appear very lively, they'll appear very quick-witted, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So their communication skills will be very much on point. But then once the person starts getting to know them at a deeper level, they will discover that they are actually a very laid back, chilled out Taurus sun sign. So that's the difference that I'm trying to showcase here. But if you've got your sun in the first house, it typically means that your sun is the same as your rising sign, which means that when people meet you for the first time, the way you project your energies is very much the same as who you really are at a core level. So there are not going to be any surprises in store. Like for example, the earlier example that I gave, somebody with a Gemini rising and a Taurus sun, there is a marked difference in the way people meet them for the first time and who they really are. So as the time goes on, when people start getting to know the Taurus sun person, they discover, oh, okay, they are not really as out there as they first seem to be, like a Gemini rising. they're actually quite maybe introverted and keep to themselves most of the time. So there's going to be a difference there. But here in this case, because your sun is right in the first house, you will project the same energies. The second thing I wanted to mention is that the first house is the house of expression. So for you to really understand yourself, because the sun is the ego, your sense of self, for you to really understand yourself, it's very important that you express yourself. Now the thing is, it's going to depend on a lot of things in your chart. Like I always say, it depends on your whole chart. This is just an isolated example of sun in the first house. But let's say if you've got a Gemini rising, again I'm giving the Gemini rising example, but if you've also got sun in Gemini, then Gemini being ruled by Mercury, that is your ascendant sign, and Mercury is all about communication. For you as a Gemini sun, for you to express yourself, your Mercury will play a very big role in how you communicate. So it depends on where your Mercury sign is also. So a lot of factors are going to play out in the chart, but then typically when you have the sun in the first house, you can almost appear to be larger than life. The reason being, sun, like I said, it brings radiance, it brings vitality, it brings energy, it basically energizes whichever house it's falling in. Now because you've got in the first house of self-expression, the way you express yourself, and also to some extent physical beauty also, that's going to be magnified because the sun is here. So you may appear to be you may have this luminous personality which is larger than life, because especially you've got the sun in the first house, it's right there at a very public place, it's the first thing that people see about you, and the sun being here, it sort of lights up this area of the house. So when people meet you for the first time, you may exude this kind of radiance, you may exude this kind of warmth and this beautiful energy about you that people love to experience, and that leaves a very positive impression on people around you. So people typically want to hang out with you more, people want to talk to you more. You may find that when you walk into a room, you do attract people to you. Like it's like the energy that you give off, just like the energy of the sun, there's this radiance and there's this aura about you, like this powerful aura about you, that when you walk into a room, people are magnetized towards you. They want to know more about you, they want to talk to you, they want to know who you are. So that is a very charismatic energy that you give off, especially because in the zodiac wheel, Leo is ruled by the sun typically. So when you look at the sign of Leo, it's very majestic, it's very regal. So when you walk into a room, you may have a very regal presence about you. You may command that attention, that just like the regal lion, when you walk into a room, people want to look at you. So you get a lot of attention. Now, whether you want that attention or not is completely a different story. Like you could be maybe a more private sign, right? Like you could be a Virgo sun and ascendant, but because you've got the sun right in your first house, you may attract a lot of attention, but you may not necessarily want so much attention to yourself. So it can play out both ways. If you're the kind of person who likes the attention, then it's really nice because you will enjoy it. Like it comes naturally to you. You don't have to try like a lot of other signs. Like this is a placement that gives you natural magnetism, natural charisma. People want to talk to you. People want to know more about you. And like I said, you are a crowd puller, almost like you do magnetize people towards you. But then all this energy, if you're a Leo sun and ascendant, then yes, you're gonna drink it all up. You are gonna love it. But if you're a more private person, like maybe even a Scorpio sun, maybe you have a Scorpio sun and ascendant both in the first house, then you're not gonna like so much attention on you. So it depends on how you end up dealing with these energies and reconciling this to your benefit. The sun also represents self-esteem. It represents your sense of self. Now, having it in the first house, you can get sometimes very affected if you don't get the kind of adoration and admiration from people around you. Like let's say if you go to a social gathering and people are meeting you for the first time, if you don't get that kind of attention that you are wanting, that can have a direct impact on your ego. Like, you can be very affected when people don't show you the attention. So this is a little bit contradictory to what I said before. Like, you may not enjoy all the attention, but at the same time you still want it at some level. Like, you may not enjoy the attention, but you still do enjoy it because your sun is there and it's in the first house of self-expression. So when you meet people, let's say if you're not getting the kind of reciprocation that you're expecting, if you're not getting the kind of that people are admiring you, people want to talk to you, if you're not getting that energy from other people around you, that can affect your ego. Sorry, that can really affect your ego, that can really affect your sense of self. You may feel a little bit dejected sometimes if that doesn't happen, but for the most part, you are the kind of person who does attract people to you. Like, it's very natural for you, you've got that energy. And what I would recommend is, depending on where your sun sign is, it's very important to focus on the planets that sun sign rules. So for example, if you are your sun is in Leo, then you are already ruled by the sun. But let's say if you are a Sagittarius sun and your rising is also Sagittarius and both are in the first house, then your ruling planet is Jupiter. So it's very important to see the state of Jupiter, what planets are being what aspects are being made to Jupiter, which zodiac sign Jupiter is in, just to understand how you can navigate these energies and make the most out of this first house sun placement. So that's a little bit about sun in the first house. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and you can also comment in the description, in the comment box below if you resonated with it and your own experiences. I love interacting with you guys. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You can click on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon, so that whenever I post a new video, you get a notification in your inbox and you can stay tuned for all of my latest updates. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you in my next video, which is going to be sun in the second house.